Hey, what up? What's going on, boxing family? I just love to talk to y'all today about this champion right here in Bud Crawford, and I'm gonna explain to y'all people because a lot of people is complaining, talking about this fight and all that. And I understand when your fighter lose, you end up talking incorrectly and trying to explain yourself. But then we have to get down to the facts. So I'm gonna just explain to people. You got a real champ and a people's champ. And what I mean by that is that the real champion, he's always gonna go around and he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight whoever he get down from the dumps, and then he build his record on the way up. And then you have a people's champ. So what I seen in this fight was the same scenario that happens a lot, and a lot of people that don't know about boxing wouldn't know what's going on unless you've been in the ring or you've been looking from years of experience. So what I mean by the real champ, Bud was the real champ. He was going from division to division and fighting fighters and winning them belts. And what I mean by that, when you got a real champion, there's only a few people that went and did that in history. You have Evander Holyfield, where he was going from division to division, taking belts, fighting whoever was on the line and whoever was presented to him. Then you have Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. did the same exact thing, but when it came down to the end of his career, that's when he was losing. And Floyd Mayweather. So when I look at these people that did it, Bud did the same circumstances, and he did it, and he came out on top. The only one that didn't do it, the only one that he didn't catch yet, is your man Money Mayweather. And I'm trying to explain what I mean by a real champ and a people's champ. That's just like when Muhammad Ali came out, and he came out after, and he retired. When he retired, you had Larry Holmes come up. And Larry Holmes, he was a hell of a champion. But when you looked at Larry Holmes, people couldn't really get the thought of Ali out of their minds, so they went and they took that from granted. But the fight that Bud fought, you even look at the fight, it was to a point to where Bud is just smarter. And what I mean by smarter is that when he got that first knockdown in the second round, Bud went to change his whole mode of the fight because they fighting and contending. But once he knew that he was knocked down, he knocked Spence down, Spence had to come and fight. And then that's when he went on cruise mode. And I could truly say his feet was moving in a way like Sugar Ray, and his hand skill and his skill set was looking like Pernell Whitaker put together. That's a real dangerous package. And what I mean by real champ and the people's champ, you got Errol Spence where he's fighting. It's the same way when I looked at Bernard Hopkins fighting Felix Trinidad. People thought Felix Trinidad was going to win, but the real champ was Bernard Hopkins, that he went through the experience, fought Roy Jones, all these other fighters that had certain styles and fights. See, the difference with the Mayweather camp is that the Mayweather camp, they all fighting together. So it's like an evolution of boxing. You got to get outside of your realm to know how to fight other people. And Floyd is the best that did it. He already had the skill, but he had a whole bunch of uncles and other fighters that he went and seen and watched. That's just like Boots Ennis. I like Boots Ennis too, but at the end of the day, when you come for that title, you're going to have to come forward. And then the fighter that Crawford is, I don't know if he have it in him to come forward and to beat him. This is why they say styles make fights. And Ennis is a generational type fighter. I do not want to see him get in there and take a loss due to the fact because people is rushing. But what I mean by a real champ and a people's champ, there's no doubt about it that Bud is a people's champ. And when he come out to fight, he could change his style with anybody, which is vicious. It doesn't have nothing to do about size or none of that. If you got the heart and the skill, he got the same skill sets as all the greats that was before him. You have to be an interchangeable fighter. And that's why I'm trying to explain to y'all. I don't want to see Boots Ennis get up in that ring with that boy right now And then, you know, he's looking all polished. And then when he get into that ring, he ain't looking like what he's supposed to be. And what I mean by that, I seen that happen to a couple of fighters. You got some greedy promoters, just like you got your man, De La Hoya, that he went and then he gonna throw Canelo in there against Mayweather at 23 years old just to get a check. I seen it happen to Fernando Vargas when he came up only 20 fights in, looking like he the truth. And then he came in and he stepped up in weight to go fight Felix Trinidad and took a L. This is what I'm trying to tell you. We have to look at what's going on, because you got fighters in the Mayweather camp, and I'm not respecting it no more. They like to take people at the age 24 and under, or people going into leaving out of their prime. And then what I mean by that, that's just like even with the Garcia fight. Garcia was not supposed to get into that ring with Tank. He's picking his fights, but you see, he ain't picking the real ones. And then look, we know who the real ones is out here boxing. And then look, if you want to be a true fighter, you come up and then you sign them names. Just like Boots in this, Boots is calling out the greats. So I respect them for that. But let's keep looking into this boxing and we're going to see who's the real from the fake. With that being said, peace, family.